Hello there and welcome! In this video, I'm going to explain the equipment system of Rogue Genesia in 5 simple steps. We're going to go over the basics and how to unlock things, how to work with it, how to make the buttons work and what functions are there. We're going to talk about the leveling and the tier system, how the modifier and the recycling system works, how the crafting itself works, and last but not least, a couple of special things that are worth knowing that I want to share with you. So let's get started with number 1, the basics. The equipment system is at first completely locked. You won't see it until you have progressed through a couple of events. These will just hammer them into your capabilities, pun intended, and after a couple of these events you will be having full control over the stats of the items and everything. The crafting system and the equipment system itself works mostly with soul coins and materials that you find, and the avatars here have all different gears. So the gunslinger has even their own item. They have also their own loadout pages. Speaking about loadouts, you can save them and you reuse them. This is really useful later when you are in the need of managing your different suits of gear, but early on you won't be needing this too much. You also can see up here which gear is currently worn, as you see there. These are the items that are marked. This is to showcase that they are currently even part of a different character's gear, because, that wasn't the gunslinger's gear. And you can put a favorite on the items to mark them for later use, or just to, get some sorting to dismiss. Okay, so now you know the most basic things. Let's move on to number 2, the leveling system and the tiers. It's pretty straightforward. Items have tiers and levels. The higher the tier, the higher the base power, and the higher the level, the more the modifiers that are on the item get cranked up. It's really just like that. There's not much more to say about that. Tiers can be eventually increased by leveling up the item to level 10, and then you can pay a hefty sum to upgrade it to the next tier. Soul coins get eaten up by this really, really quickly. So yeah, there's really not much more to add on. Let's move on to number 3, the modifier and recycling system. As you see there, each item has a modifier, one more or less. They have different amounts of these. Some of these have cyan-colored ones. These are unique and very, very valuable. More about that later. And each of these ones is to be understood as a slot. And as you see there, they also come in different rarities, like pretty much everything in this game comes. And sometimes you have an unknown tag, and sometimes you have a tag that looks like this. So story goes pretty much like that. Every tag that you recycle gets added into your catalog of craftable traits. So you can go here to the encyclopedia and check out what equipment modifiers you have already encountered and unlocked. And as you see there, the list is pretty long all in all. So every one of these that we have unlocked, like this, is now available for our pool to be worked with. So that's how you get yourself your crafting foundations done. And number 4 now, how to work with these. So you pick up the item in question, and every one of these icons here showcases interaction with that slot. So I could now click here to remove this trait and replace it with a different one. And as you see here, I can replace a common with a rare one. It costs you here. These materials, they can be acquired by recycling items, or sometimes they just get dropped during your adventures. All in all, this is how you change traits. There's also negative traits, which have basically one big reason. These items also get requirements. So if I understood everything correctly, and this is the only point where I'm not 100% sure about how it works, this is the level required for your character in the current run to kick the item into full action. I don't know if we get any diminished returns. I'd really love to know. I did some research, but I didn't find anything about the topic. Let me know, dear comment section, if you do know. What it comes down to, the more powerful the item, the higher the required level. And that is why we have negative modifiers. So you can even take these negative modifiers and take them out. So that would then result in something like this. So sometimes you can, this does, I don't know why this item's level got decreased by removing a negative tier, because usually these help you in, exactly. So as you see there, if we pick up different negative traits, we can decrease the required level with that. And here, if we remove it, the required level increases. I don't know why that item acted so anomalous there. Anyways, so that's the basics about gear crafting. Number 5, I want to talk about a couple of specialties now in between. So there are these cyan-colored items, which you get mostly from challenges. I don't know where they originate elsewhere. I mean, there's still a lot to discover for myself here too. But these items are special frames and invite you to modify them towards your pleasing, because this trait cannot be applied elsewhere. This is also, as you see here, if we recycled it, we would retain the epic traits, but not the unique ones. So unique traits, keep an eye out on them, because they make really interesting items, because we could now tweak that item differently. And when it comes down to negative traits, I wanted to say as much as, if you have a good catalog of traits available, you can cherry pick the ones that bother you the least and get the power of the items unleashed as quick as possible. Take these as an opportunity to just smack away what doesn't bother you in any way and get yourself some extra power from that. This is really the opportunity that I see in the negative slots. And as you saw there, if you don't want to use it, you can't just empty the slot. It is not necessary for your items to have negative traits at all. As you see here, it's just like that. A few clicks, it's away. All right. I hope this little video helped you out in understanding the equipment system. If I have left something unclear, or if I made a mistake there, feel free to hammer away in the comment section. I always like to be corrected where I stand wrong. So leave a like, leave a subscribe, consider checking out the description box. Feel free to donate or support the channel. If my work is worth a dime to you, it would mean a lot to me. Many thanks go out to all of you who helped me out. And of course, I want to say thanks for watching this video up until the aftermath of the advertisements for myself. I appreciate taking your time, and I hope you have a great day. See you next time. Bye-bye.